Good morning, Bosky.
Morning, CK.
How much have you done?
4,000.
I need to catch up.
Oh, you will catch up and go past. You have done what, 3,000?
Yes, 3,000
Okay,
kilometers.
good. So, can we share our ownership review, initial ownership review? It qualifies, right? 3,000
Yes.
and 4,000.
My feelers and your feelers.
Yeah, I have shared a little bit in the posts earlier. So, this is a good time to share it together. How about starting with any warranty issues, any teething issues, any quality issues that you faced till now?
Mine's running more like your Japanese Honda machine.
Oh, that's a
Fill it.
compliment.
Yeah, fill it, shut it, forget it. Only one visit to the service station, and that too because I notched up 500 kilometers, got the engine oil and the oil filter replaced. End of story.
So, you mean to put it in short, you got the first service done?
Yes,
Yeah, why do you have to say it's such a long explanation? Got the engine oil done, got this done.
because you visited more and I know.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I've had two warranty issues. One is the RH switch module replaced under warranty. The mode button was not working. Second was the center stand. I felt it was bent, which I actually think it was. Replaced with another center stand. Didn't change anything. So I might as well have left the original stand alone. But doesn't matter. It is still a bit difficult to get it off center stand. It's okay. So these are the two things. Third, noise. Not unusual, but for my satisfaction, I raised a concern and duly it was inspected with the necessary tools and the gauges, and everything was within the tolerance limits. So the noise is a characteristic. It is noisy. It's got a lot of clatter. Once I was convinced that everything, the gaps are all in order, doesn't matter anymore. So these are the three things which I had to check and get inspected and replaced thus far.
Yeah. During one of our last shoots as well, I think I'd mentioned about it. The mechanical clutter, right? The interceptor engine, the way it is refined, and this is coming in from the same maker. So, understandable that people,
Are concerned about the noise it makes.
yes,
The noise is not very consistent across the motorcycles. I think your motorcycle is less noisy than this. That's okay. So the noise is part of the deal. It's not a problem mechanically or technically. It is what it is. And commonly asked questions about this motorcycle from people who wish to buy, people who just wish to know, people who just want to piss on the Royal Enfield, and people who have already bought it. So the noise portion of it is not a problem. It is part of the deal. Live with it. Heat from the engine. Yes, it is summer now. I do feel more
more of the heat.
from the engine. Again, to me, I am aware it is there. I know what is the purpose of that fan and that thing wafting up in some red light in the signals. Doesn't matter. It's part of ownership of this type of CC of motorcycle. So heat will be there. Did you find it anything uncomfortable?
I've learned to live with it, Bosky.
Yes, there is heat.
There
Learn
is
to live with
heat,
it.
yeah.
That's the end of that.
That's the end
So
of
does
it.
the Scrambler 400X. That also radiates a lot of heat. The 390 Adventure with TMK and Autorama, that also radiates some heat. So nothing unusual. Get used to the noise. Get used to the heat.
Heat.
What else? What are the other frequently asked questions? Yeah, there is. And what about that right side pulling?
I haven't experienced it in my
Yeah, it's
motorcycle.
not
How
there.
about you?
No, I don't have that pulling either. There are a few messages of that issue happening. We need to find out more about it. I have not ridden a motorcycle that's got the pulling. The test ride motorcycle which I had taken long time back didn't have it. This doesn't. Your motorcycle doesn't have it. But I'm sure we will be able to come across one or two. So when we find out more about it, we will share the information. Another thing asked frequently is about vibrations. And repeatedly we have been sharing information on this, not calling it a vibration, calling it a buzz.
Yeah.
It is not a vibration, it is a buzz. There is a difference, at least how And when I use the term vibration and buzz, they are different. A buzz is something I can live with. It is not a showstopper. I can live with it. This has a buzz. And the reason why it stands out is because everything else is so good on the motorcycle, this seems to stick out a bit. The buzz is very easy to live with, accept and enjoy the motorcycle. Hey, and one more thing asked quite frequently is the lack of low end torque. I think we should just dump that topic and say there is no issue with low end torque. That's the end of that.
Yeah.
A motorcycle and a rider have to adapt to each other. Of course, the motorcycle by itself won't adapt to us. We adapt it. That's what I say, we adapt the motorcycle. If there is something we need to change, something we need to add, stuff like this, that is adapting the motorcycle to me. And it is also my responsibility to adapt to the motorcycle. I cannot ride this like I ride my classic 350, for example. I never had a classic 350, however, giving an example. And then expect and say it doesn't have bottom end torque. I cannot ride it like a Z1000RR or S1000RR and say, damn, it sounds very sad. Adapt. I know between 2 and 3000 what is the kind of response this motorcycle gives. So when I know and I'm aware, it is not a problem. Open the throttle, it moves at a certain pace, it responds at a certain pace. If I want it to go any faster, I'll slam it open even more. Or I want it to go even more faster, I'll drop a gear and pull it. So that is the adaptation a rider has to make. Sitting where I am, motorcycle should adapt to me, that doesn't work. Any motorcycle, it's not just this. So the issue of 2 to 3000 RPM, lack of torque is not even in the picture. We have ridden it doubles. How it behaves at that RPM, open throttle. It doesn't explode out of the box, but it can move.
It moves.
It chugs along in traffic just under 3000 RPM. So CK, what is your initial assessment, 3000 kilometers?
The suspension, out of the world. Second thing is the engine. Man, you can cruise at 110, 120 all day long. The motor doesn't tire you, neither does the posture, because the ergonomics is spot on. The third thing, the brakes. I can push the motorcycle a little bit longer before I slam the brakes. It's neat. How about you, Bosky?
Same things. Ergonomics is what stands out the most. The way the handlebar fits in, where the pegs are in ratio with the seat. Although there is one thing about the seat which both of us don't like, we will come to that.
Yeah.
Ergonomics is the single most important factor for comfort. If there is one thing and the first thing that has to be addressed for riding stress-free and in comfort, it is the ergonomics, how things fall in place. This is like it is tailor-made for me. It fits in very well. Suspension. It behaves like a street suspension, firm and taut on tarmac, and it behaves like an off-road suspension on dirt. So it's got that beautiful balance. It's far ahead of any suspension in this segment. Far ahead. I am not speaking just in terms of travel. Yes, it's got a massive travel compared to other motorcycles in this price segment and what is generally compared to. It's not just the travel. The way it actually operates. This is a separate function fork. Compression is on one side, the spring, the other side is the damping mechanism. So, 390 Adventure is the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's not the conventional fork where it's got a spring on both sides. Entire damping is on one side. The preload and spring is on one side. That gives the capacity and the ability of greater adjustability. I think once we get the adjustments on that feature, this will take a next step. Then the engine. It's so happy between 80 and 140. It's a massive range. In 6th gear from 80, roll it open, it heads to 140, does not hiccup, stutter, struggle, shake, shudder, make any extra noises because it's already noisy.
Yeah.
So it doesn't do anything unusual. That band makes the whole ride much more relaxed and easy, less stressful. Like you said, getting to the destination with the least amount of energy expended and least amount of tiredness. This is a king at that. 17 liters, that is one less fuel stop.
Yeah, with giving me consistently 30. How about you?
33.
What have you done?
Yeah, I travel about 20 kilometers per hour less than you. That's all I have done.
I agree, Bosky, because I've noticed it. If I'm consistently riding at 120s, the mileage drops.
Yeah.
And if I'm at 90s to 100, it increases. Adaptations. And I see you've done a lot of it on your motorcycle.
A little bit.
You want to walk us through it?
Yeah. The tall screen had not yet come in at that time. I wanted something, so I got this Pro Spec. This appears to be a little taller than the tall screen you have.
I noticed it in the morning today.
Yeah, it's a bit taller. And the fact that it's got this gap in between, this works a little bit better than that. Yes, aesthetically, I mean, this is far ahead. It looks great. This looks like some cut and paste stuck on. The purpose is served well. Sometimes it's okay. I don't mind letting go of aesthetics for function. It's pretty good. Goes over my helmet. I have a quiet ride. Yeah, these are the double take mirrors on ram mounts. I had it on my V-Strom as the additional mirrors down here, so that when I stand up and ride, I can still see what's going on behind me. The regular mirrors are set for sitting and riding, stand up and riding. I removed that because V-Strom is going away. I have made a video on the yeah, it's going away. So I have taken this off and put it here. They are pretty good. Nice convex shape, anti-glare, unbreakable and infinitely adjustable. That's one. And the crash guard is Royal Enfield. This is Royal Enfield. These pannier rails are Royal Enfield. Top rack is Royal Enfield. This plate is a Krega.
Ah.
This is the Krega OS base to which my Krega luggage sits on. I have put an Insta reel out
On it.
And I have ridden with the Krega luggage. I put in some old newspaper and some old novels and notebooks to give it that luggage. I must have put in around 20-25 kilos. That is when I made the call to replace the V-Strom with this. The way it rode with the luggage, retained its balance, retained its poise. Normally with about 25 kg luggage, the motorcycle tends to squat. The front becomes a bit light, which is okay because I'm used to it. Generally having the rear squat and then the front become a bit light. That's how it is I ride. The change in this motorcycle was the minimal I've experienced in this segment. The other smaller mid-size motorcycles I have, once I put the luggage, the degree to which the behavior changes, this changes far less. That's confidence inspiring.
I was to actually ask you that with the luggage, added weight, how was the front? Were you steering in the air?
I wasn't. That's exactly, exactly. It is not. It behaves very well. That's why I said suspension is a standout. Showa have done some special things on this. Tailor-made. It's not like we have a motorcycle weighing this much. This is the wheelbase. This is the weight. This is the weight balance. Please give us a suspension. In conjunction, it has been developed, and that is the reason why it's actually delivering on that end.
Joint development.
Yeah, joint development, just like the tires. These tires are steel. The rear tire is a steel radial. Ceat developed this rear tire in conjunction with Royal Enfield, I am told in Spain, where this was undergoing tests.
Okay.
A year and a half of testing.
I was to comment on the tires, Bosky. Expressways, long sweeping corners, 110, 120, you're approaching a corner. It holds its line as long as you're adhering to the laws of the physics. It holds its line.
And the laws of the road maker. If you throw some sand there, I am sorry, no steel radial, nylon radial will hold it.
True. But
yeah.
the feedback that I get, the reassurance that the tires give me, when I stopped, I looked at it and I was like, damn, Ceat.
Yeah, Ceat, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There is, right now, I don't see any need to look at any other tire in the market for this.
I don't think so.
Since it is made for this motorcycle, developed in conjunction with this motorcycle, I think we should just leave it as it is. The more I ride this motorcycle, the more I'm starting to like it. The more I'm adapting to it. I'm learning new things about it to get more and more comfortable. What about the meter?
Does the job.
Does the job.
Yeah. Okay. Bosky, there are two ways to look at it. For me, the basic things show up and my usage of the console is as such. I do know now that in my extended friend circle, we have a lot of Himalayans, the new ones, and they've been expressing a few concerns, especially the Google Map adaptation, right? I think this is like the hottest thing when you talk of the Himalayan 450 console.
Too much is made of that.
Yeah. So I'm more like, yeah, it's okay. It's a function. It's a feature. If you would want to use it wisely.
Otherwise, don't use it.
Otherwise, don't
Leave
use it. Yeah.
I have another handset with a SIM on it for maps. So I'm getting a mount. I'm going to stick and use that phone. It's a secondary phone. It's only for maps, and that's the end of that. If I don't carry that phone, because it's not a long trip, it's a short trip, something in the city, I'll connect it to the device here. In fact, I have not even connected my phone to my motorcycle, 4,000 kilometers.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Speed, fuel, warning lights. I think these are the three things I need to know. If there's something wrong, I need to know a warning light is needed. I need to know what speed I'm traveling at, and I need to know how much fuel is left. That's it. It's not a device I'm going to be looking at and riding all along. It looks pretty, it looks ugly. Does not matter. It's only going to take 1% of my time. My ride time is going to be on this.
True.
So, after some time, believe me, this doesn't matter anymore.
Why would you be constantly looking at the speedometer console instead of the roads?
It's like a new gadget. Fiddle with it initially, after some time slowly it goes into the background and we don't care for it much. So that is my outlook. If I'm traveling long and far, I need Google Maps. I'm going to stick my secondary phone for the maps, connect it to the USB-C and be done with it. And if I don't happen to have that phone with me, for whatever reason, I'll connect my regular phone, connect to the C so that the battery doesn't drain. That's the biggest complaint, my battery drain. Okay, you have a charger.
Free of cost or included in the package.
Carry a cable, keep it under the seat.
Yeah.
Depending on the handset that you have. Keep the cable under the seat, stick it in, connect it, put the phone into the pocket and keep riding. Simple. So I don't make too much of this feature of that integration of Google Maps.
But if I still have to moan about it, only one part where I will moan, resetting the trip meter.
Yeah, I have to go through several things, right?
It could have been done better, where you come in, you select and hold a long press in and reset it.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
I have to go through another menu to reset the trip meter.
I think that's a bit complicated.
Is that the only way? If any of you know a way to reset the trip meter, let us know. All we know is we have to leave the trip menu, go out, come back through another menu and then reset the trip meter.
True.
Yes, that is a pain.
But I'm sure, it's a GUI and it can be changed very quickly, and I hope Royal Enfield is listening and they make it easy.
What else you wish to share about the ownership? How would you rate it thus far? 3,000 kilometers out of 10, what would you give this motorcycle from your expectation of test ride, expectation during the wait and actual ownership? How is the change there and how would you rate it out of 10?
Bosky, 9 is what I would put it up as. It's meeting up to all my expectations. For a 450cc motorcycle, it's impressive.
It has changed the game.
Yeah.
The goalpost has moved. And now there are some brands coming into that area. The game has changed.
Yeah.
The game has changed. Good job. I would rate it 8.5 on 10.
Being miser,
Yeah, because the 0.5 is because of those 2 warranty issues I had to go to. Otherwise, it would have been a 9 on 10. However, at this moment, it is 8.5. As I enjoy it more, as I get to know it better, as I travel long and far, it is likely going to go up. Unless I face another warranty issue. That's about it. Happy with the purchase. Looking forward to many, many more rides and many, many more kilometers on this motorcycle. If you are considering a Himalayan 450, please take a test ride. Multiple test rides to be sure if that's the motorcycle for you, if it is what gives you the thrill, the joy and the happiness of riding. For me, it is worth every single rupee and every minute I'm spending on this motorcycle. Maybe we'll share our next feedback once we get to the 10,000 kilometer mark, which you will probably get to next month. And I'll probably get to it towards the end of the year.